press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome to Classroom of Physics. Okay, today we shall consider the discussion related to split 1. So let us look into question. In S is equal to A plus BT plus CT square, S is measured in meter and T is in second. The unit of C is. So let us consider S is equal to A plus BT plus CT square. See here they ask you to find out what is the unit of C. So you know that the dimension of S is the same as that of dimension of CT square. Okay. Since you are taking this equation as dimensionally same, see, therefore I can write dimension of C is equal to dimension of S by dimension of T square. What is dimension of S? L. Dimension of T square, T power 2. See, therefore this becomes L into T power minus 2. See, therefore when they ask you to write down the unit will be, what is the unit of length? Unit of length is meter and unit of time is second. Therefore meter per second square is the unit of C. Okay. See, therefore option third option is correct. Now let us move on to next question. Which pair has same dimension? They ask you to identify the pair of physical quantities which are having same dimensional formula. Say here the first option is stress and strain. So you know that stress is having a dimension of pressure m L power minus 1 T power minus 2. And what is the dimension of strain? Strain is dimensionless physical quantity because it is a ratio. See, therefore the first option is wrong. See, when you come to second option, work and power. Work is having a dimension formula m L power 2 T power minus 2, and power is rate of doing work m L square T power minus 3 is the dimension for power. Therefore work and power are not dimensionally same. Let's move on to the third option, momentum and impulse. Momentum is having a dimension m L T power minus 1, and impulse is nothing but force into time. See, therefore it is also having a dimension m L T power minus 1. See, therefore these two are having same dimension. When you come to density, density is having a dimension of L mass per m L power minus 3 T power 0. And relative density is a dimensionless physical quantity. See, therefore only third option is correct. Momentum and impulse are having same dimensional formula. Okay. The equation of state from real gases is having uh, is expressed as P plus A by V square, V minus B is equal to RT. This is Avogadro's equation. P is a pressure, V is a volume, T is absolute temperature. A, B, R are constants, the dimensions of A. See, we know that P plus A by V square, given equation is V minus B is equal to RT. See here, dimension of P, since A by V square is added to P, P A by V square na add ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ A by V square dimension of P ಗೆ same ಇರಬೇಕು, right? See, therefore this is same as A by V square. What is the dimension of pressure? M L minus 1, L power minus 1, T power minus 2. This is the dimension for pressure, and A dimension is not known. What is the dimension of volume? L cube to the power of 2. See, therefore dimension of A becomes M L power 5 T power minus 2. This is the dimensional formula for A. A has a dimension M L power 5 T power minus 2, M into L power 5 T power minus 2. Therefore third option is correct. Okay, now we shall move on to the next question. In a system of units, if force, acceleration A and time T are taken as fundamental units, dimensional formula for energy. So you know that usually we express any physical quantity in terms of mass, length and time. Here they have given taking force, acceleration and time as fundamental units. You must write the dimension for energy in terms of FAT. Okay. See, for this I just take energy E. Energy is equal to some constant K, F power X, then A power Y, T power Z. Okay, let us take dimension on both sides. F power X, A power Y and T power Z. See, let us write down the dimension formula for energy. M L square T power minus 2. See, here K is constant, F is M L T power minus 2 to the power X, A is acceleration, L T power minus 2 to the power of Y, T is time T power Z. Now you please simplify this. M is having a power X, L is X plus Y, and T is having a power minus 2X minus 2Y plus Z. Now equating the dimensions of M, L, T on both sides. Okay, equating the dimensions of M, L, T. When you equate the dimension of M, you are going to get here 1, here X. So when you equate the dimension of L, here 2 in the LHS 2, X plus Y. So this implies when you put X is equal to 1 here, Y is also equal to 1. Now take the dimension of T. Dimension of T is minus 2. This is equal to minus 2X minus 2Y plus Z. See, you just substitute for X and Y. X is equal to 1, Y is equal to 1. Therefore, this is minus 4. When you take it to that side, plus 4. See, this implies Z becomes equal to 2 plus 2. See, therefore, the equation takes the form E is equal to K into F power 1, A power 1, T power 2. See, this is the equation. See, therefore, FAT square is the correct option. The percentage error in the measurement of mass and speed are 2% and 3% respectively. How much will be the maximum error in the estimation of kinetic energy obtained by measuring mass and speed? So you know that kinetic energy is given by kinetic energy is equal to kinetic energy is half mv square. See, you just take percentage error delta k by k into 100%. This is percentage error. Half is a constant, therefore delta m by m into 100% plus 2 into delta v by v into 100%. Percentage error in the measurement of mass is 2%, plus, and in the measurement of velocity 2 into 3%. See, this is 8%. See, therefore delta k by k into 100% is given by 8%. See, therefore maximum permissible error in the measurement of kinetic energies comes out to be 8%. Okay, we shall move on to the next one. Therefore, first option is correct. The mean time period of seconds pendulum is 2 seconds, and mean absolute error in the time period is 0.05 second. Express maximum estimate of error. The time period should be written as. Say, we know that the true value can be written as t mean plus or minus delta t mean. See, this is the mean absolute error. T mean here is how much? It is a 2 second, 2.00 second plus or minus. Mean absolute error is 0.05 second, 0.05 second. See, therefore the actual value or the true value comes out to be 2 second plus or minus 0.005. A body moves 6 meter north, 8 meter east and 10 meter vertically upwards. What is the resultant displacement from the initial position? See, here they have given a body starts from here, it moves 6 meter north, this is north, south, okay, 6 meter here, 6 meter, and then 8 meter east, here it moves 8 meter, B, 8 meter. So then what is this distance? If this is 6, this is 8, this comes out to be 10 meter, right? 10 meter. Afterwards, 10 meter vertically upwards like this, in this direction towards you. ನೋಡಿ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಬೇಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ OB, OB 90 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇದು 10 ಮೀಟರ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಮೀಟರ್ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಸಿ ಹೋಗಿದೆ, ಆ ಸಿ ಯಾವ ಕಡೆಗಿದೆ? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆಗಿದೆ, ಹೀಗಿದೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆಗಿದೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಹಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ದೂರ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೆ. ದೇ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ resultant displacement from the initial position, from the origin or from O. See, this given out to be 10 root 2 meter. You just apply Pythagoras theorem and find it out. That's all. See, therefore 10 root 2 meter is correct. Okay. Next question. The displacement time graph for two particles A and B are straight lines inclined at 30° and 60° with the time axis. Ratio of velocities of VA and VB. VA is to VB. See here, we have velocity time graph, sorry, displacement time graph, displacement on the y-axis, yes, and time here, time t here. A and B are two straight lines inclined at 30°. This is inclined at 30° and B is inclined at 60°. Okay. Then ratio of the velocities. So you know that velocity, the slope of the graph gives you velocity. Velocity here is equal to slope. VA is equal to slope of line A. See, this is equal to, because velocity is nothing but rate of change of displacement. VA is equal to ds by dt. This is tan 30. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3. VB, this is also ds by dt. Slope of line B, this is tan 60. Tan 60 is root 3. See, therefore VA is to VB is equal to 1 by root 3 divided by root 3, which gives you 1:3. See, therefore answer is 1:3. Fourth option is correct. All right. Now let us move on to next question. A 100 meter train is moving with a uniform velocity 45 km per hour. The time taken by train to cross the bridge of length 1 km. ನೋಡಿ ಟ್ರೈನ್ದು ಲೆಂತ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಟ್ರೈನ್ದು ಲೆಂತ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ 100 ಮೀಟರ್. ಟ್ರೈನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಟ್ರೈನ್ದು ಕಡೆ ಕಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟು ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ನ ದಾಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದಾಗ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಥವಾ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ಇರುವಂಥ ಚೇಂಬರು ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ನ ದಾಟಿದಾಗ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ದಾಟ್ತು ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ದಾಟ್ತು ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಳುವಾಗ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಲೆಂತ್ನೂ ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ ನೀವೇನಾದರೂ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕುವಾಗ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬೈ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಟೈಮ್ ಟೇಕನ್. Speed is equal to distance traveled by the train divided by time taken. See, they ask you to find out what is the time. Distance by speed, and what is the total distance covered? 1000 meter. 1 kilometer ge 1000 meter agute plus 100 meter. This is in meter. And what is the speed? So 45 km per hour. 45 into 10⁻³ divided by 3600. Okay, this is meter per second. So you please simplify this. On simplification, so you are going to get 88 seconds. You are going to get 88 seconds. You please check it up. See, this comes out to be 88 seconds. A car travels half of the distance with a velocity 40 km per hour and the remaining half with a constant velocity 60 km per hour. Average velocity of the car in kilometer per hour. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ನ 40 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಅವರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ನ 60 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಅವರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದರದ್ದು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಆವ್ರೇಜ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿಗೆ ಏನು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ? ಆವ್ರೇಜ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೈ V average is equal to, we have a shortcut, 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2, 2 into v1 is, first one is 40 km per hour multiplied by 60 km per hour divided by 40 plus 60. So you are going to get 48 kilometer per hour. 48 kilometer per hour. Okay, next one. Initial velocity of a particle is u at time t is equal to 0 and the acceleration f is given by at. Which of the following relation is valid? See here, acceleration is not same. It is the case of non-uniform motion. See, therefore acceleration is not a constant. It is given by f is equal to at. Now let us take the equation v is equal to u plus, in the place of acceleration I just take 0 to t f dt because acceleration is varying. U plus 0 to t, in the place of f you plus take at dt. You are going to get u plus at square. When you integrate t, you will get t square by 2. See, therefore it takes the form u plus at square by 2. So therefore first option is correct. See why I have taken like this? The reason is here acceleration is not a constant, it is a variable. It is a case of non-uniform motion. Okay, so we shall move to next question. Two trains each 50 meter long are traveling in opposite direction with a velocity 10 meter per second and 15 meter per second. The time of crossing is, since the two trains are moving in opposite direction, there you must take the relative velocity. See, when you take relative velocity of two objects moving in opposite direction, they gets added up. See, therefore time taken is equal to s1 plus s2 divided by v1 plus v2 because they are moving in opposite direction. S1 length of each train 50 meter, 50 plus 50 divided by the speed of the trains 10 plus 15. See, therefore 100 divided by 25, this gives you 4 seconds. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ತಗೋಬೇಕು? ಎರಡೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಟ್ರೈನ್ದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ರೈಟ್ಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಆ ಟ್ರೈನ್ದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟು ದಾಟಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಅದೇ ಥರ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟ್ರೈನ್ದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟು ಇದ್ರ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ದಾಟಿದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಎರಡರದ್ದು ಲೆಂತು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, 50 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 50 ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 100 ಬಂತು. ಎರಡು ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. See, therefore 25, you are going to get 4 seconds. A stone is dropped into water from a bridge 44.1 meter above water. Another stone is thrown vertically downward 1 second later. Both strike the water simultaneously. What was the initial speed of the second stone? See, in this case, if you take the first stone first stone fall freely under gravity. See, therefore h is equal to initial velocity 0 t plus half gt square. G is 9.8 t square, right? So let me write down, no problem. This is g. What is h value? H is 44.1. This is the height of the bridge, 44.1 meter. Half into g, 9.8 t square. This is t square is equal to 44.1 divided by 4.9. You are going to get 9. See, therefore t is 3 seconds. 3 seconds. So when you take second stone, for second stone, see, they have given it is thrown 1 second later. 1 second later means time for second stone, time should be taken as 2 seconds. See, therefore, so you can make use of this relation. S is equal to ut u dash t plus half g t dash square. This is same 44.1. U dash is not known to you. T dash is 2 seconds plus half g is 9.8. This is 2 square. So you please simplify this. Okay, on simplification, so you are going to get u dash becomes equal to 12.25 meter per second. This is 19.6. 44.1 minus 19.6 gives you, and divided by 2 gives you 12.25 meter per second. You please check it up. Okay, you are going to get 12.25 meter per second. Okay. A balloon is rising vertically up with a velocity 29 meter per second. A stone is dropped from it and reaches the ground in 10 seconds. The height of the balloon when the stone was dropped. See, here we just make use of the relation S is equal to ut plus half at square. I just the ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಬಲೂನ್ ಹಿಂಗ್ ರೈಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆಗೆ. ಈ ಬಲೂನ್ ಹಿಂಗ್ ರೈಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಬಲೂನ್ ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಳಗಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ, ಈ ಬಲೂನ್ ಏನಿತ್ತು, ಬಲೂನ್ದು ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಏನಿತ್ತು ಅದೇ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್ ನ ಮೈನಸ್ ಹೆಚ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಡೌನ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಆದ್ರಿಂದ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಈಗ? ಸೊ ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್, ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಹಾಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚೇನಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಕನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ, ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್, ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬಂದು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಅಂತ. ಆ ತರ ಕನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಕನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಕನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, 29 ಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 29 ಮೈನಸ್ 29 ಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ, 10 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಇಂಟು ಜಿ 9.8 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, 9.8 into t square 10 square. This is minus 290 plus 490 200 meter. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ನ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಬಲೂನ್ ಯಾವ ಹೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ನ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಬಲೂನು 200 ಮೀಟರ್ ಹೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಇದು ಯಾಕೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಬಲೂನ್ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಇಟ್ಟಾಗ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಲೂನ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿನೂ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹೌದಾ? The variation of velocity of a particle moving along a straight line is illustrated in the figure. Distance traveled by a particle in 4 seconds is. They ask you to find out what is the distance traveled by the particle in a given time. See, therefore, first we shall take up velocity time graph. Velocity time graph. Velocity time graph is shown here. This is 1 second, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, 10, 20, 30 velocity time. So you know that area under the graph in case of velocity versus time gives you the total distance traveled. See, therefore, you please calculate what is the total area. S is equal to, first we shall take this area of triangle half into, first this triangle half into base 1, height 20. ನೋಡಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ರ ಏರಿಯಾ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ರೈಟ್. ಇದೇನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಲೆಂತ್ ಇಂಟು ಬ್ರೆಡ್, ಲೆಂತ್ 1, ಬ್ರೆಡ್ 20 ಆಯಿತು, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಇದೊಂದು ಟ್ರೆಪೀಸಿಯಂ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಈ ಟ್ರೆಪೀಸಿಯಂ ಏರಿಯಾ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಹಾಫ್ ಇಂಟು ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಸೈಡ್ಸ್, ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಒಂದು 20 ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 10 ಇದೆ, ಇಂಟು ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದೆಮ್ 1, ಇದು ಟ್ರೆಪೀಸಿಯಂ ಏರಿಯಾ ಆಯಿತು, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಇದೊಂದು ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ 10 ಇಂಟು 1. ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ದಿಸ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಯು 10 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 20 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 15 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 10. So this gives you 55 meter. So therefore, the total distance traveled by the particle in a given time is 55 meter. ಈಗ ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಫಸ್ಟು ಇದ್ರ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಇದು, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ಟ್ರೆಪೀಸಿಯಂ ಏರಿಯಾ ಇದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೆಕ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾ, ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನು ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ I will get the total area under the graph. Area under the graph gives you distance traveled. Angle between the two vectors, vector A is equal to 3 into I cap plus 4 into j cap plus 5 into k cap, and vector B is equal to 3 into I cap plus 4 into j cap minus 5 into k cap will be. Let us take the two vectors. Vector A is equal to 3 into I cap plus 4 into j cap plus 5 into k cap, and vector B is equal to 3 into I cap plus 4 into j cap minus 5 into k cap. Consider A dot B. When you take A dot B is equal to A1 B1 plus A2 B2 plus A3 B3. What is A1 B1 here? 3. B1 is 3. A2 4. B2 4. A3 5. This is minus 5. 9 plus 16 minus 25. 0. A dot B is equal to 0 if A is perpendicular to B, right? Dot product is 0 when they are mutually orthogonal to each other or perpendicular to each other. Therefore, angle between the two vectors is 90 degree. When the two vectors are perpendicular to each other, their dot product is 0. So therefore here angle is 90 degree. Second option is correct. So now let us move on to 18th question. Next question. Vector A equal to 3 into I cap plus j plus 2 into k cap. Vector B is equal to 2 into I cap minus 2 into j cap plus 4 into k cap. Then the value of A cross B. Here they have asked you to find out magnitude of A cross B. First let us take the two vectors, 3 into I cap plus j cap plus 2 into k cap, and here 2 into I cap minus 2 into j cap plus 4 into k cap. So first we shall take up A cross B. A cross B is equal to I, j, k. Let us put in a determinant form. 3, 1, 2 plus 2. 2 minus 2, 4. ಇದನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಬರಿಬೇಕಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಈಗ ಐ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಐ ಈ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಈ ರೋ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ. 1 into 4 4 minus of minus plus 4. Then minus j cap ಈ ರೋ ಈ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೋ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ. 3 into 4 12 minus 4 plus k cap 3 into minus 2 minus 6 minus 2. See, therefore you are going to get 8 into I cap plus minus 8 into j cap minus 8 into k cap. This is what you are going to get now. See, knowing of this, first to find out what is the magnitude of the vectors. A cross B mod is equal to 8 square plus minus 8 square plus minus 8 square. This gives you 8 root 3. 8 root 3. Therefore, fourth option is correct. You please simplify this. They ask you to find out what is the magnitude of the cross product. Magnitude of the cross product comes out to be 8 root 3. A person aiming to reach exactly opposite point on the bank of a stream, swimming with a speed of 0.5 meter per second at an angle of 120 degrees with the direction of flow of water. Speed of the water stream is. See here, the water is flowing in this direction, river flow. A person is here. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅವನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಲುಪಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ಎ ಇಂದ ಬಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಅವನು ಹೀಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಹೊರಟೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನು ಯಾವ ತರ ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಅವನು ಅಪ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಹೀಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಈ ತರ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ವಾಟರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಂಗಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ? 120 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಗೊತ್ತು ನಿಮಗೆ 90 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಅಂತ. ಇದು 120 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು 60, ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ? 30 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾನ್, ಇದು ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ರಿವರ್. ಹೌದಾ? ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಸ್ವಿಮ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡು 0.5 ಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ sin 30 ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಫ್ರಮ್ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ sin 30 is equal to opposite side BC divided by AC. BC ಎಷ್ಟು? BC is VR, AC 0.5. So therefore, velocity of the river is equal to 0.5 into sine 30, 0.5 into 1 by 2, 0.25 meter per second. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ರಿವರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 0.25 ಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಅವನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಗೆ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅಪ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈಜಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಶಾರ್ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ತಲುಪಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಶಾರ್ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅಪ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಶಾರ್ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಡೌನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ಶಾರ್ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ he must swim upstream so that he can reach the exact opposite point of the bank. Okay. When a body moves with a constant speed along a circle, constant speed nalli circular path nalli hodaga enagutte? So you know that when a body moves along a circular path, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ acceleration is directed towards the center. See, therefore centripetal force is acting towards the center and velocity is always tangential to it. See, therefore displacement as well as velocity, they are all tangential. What is the angle between them? So you know that this is fs cos theta. Here theta is equal to 90 degrees. See, therefore work done is equal to 0. See, for a body moving along circular path with a constant speed, then work done by the centripetal force is always equal to 0, because force and displacement are mutually perpendicular to each other, right? No work is done. The ratio of angular speed of minute hand and the hour hand of a watch is, say they ask you to find out what is the ratio of angular speed of minute hand and hour hand. So you know that omega angular speed is given by 2 pi by t. Suppose if you take a minute hand to complete one revolution, to complete one complete revolution or one rotation, see it takes one hour. See, for t is equal to 1 hour. See, therefore omega 1 is equal to 2 pi by 1. See, when you take hour hand, see t is equal to complete one rotation, it takes 12 hours. See, therefore omega 2 is equal to 2 pi by 12. See, therefore omega 1 by omega 2 is equal to 12:1. 12:1. Have you got it? Second option is correct. A wheel completes 2000 revolution to cover 9.5 kilometer distance. Then the diameter of the wheel is, it completes 2000 revolutions to cover 9.5 kilometer. See, what is the, say for one revolution, what is the angle covered? Angle covered is 2 pi radians. See, that is known to you. Angle covered is 2 pi radians. See, therefore for 2000, S is equal to r theta. S is equal to r theta. Say first we shall find out what is the what is r. R is equal to S by theta. S is 9.5 kilometer divided by theta 2000 into 2 pi radian. Okay, see, this is the radius. Or this can be written as 9.5 divided by 4 pi. 4 pi. They ask you to find out what is the diameter. See, therefore, diameter is given by d is equal to 2r. 9.5 divided by 4 pi. This is approximately 1.5 meter. You please calculate this, check it up. See, this gives you 9.5 divided by 4 by 2 pi, 6 point something you are going to get. Therefore, it's approximately equal to 1.5 meter. Maximum speed of a car on a road turn of radius 30 meter if the coefficient of friction between tires and the road is 0.4 will be. See, this is curve without any banking. So when you take a turn on a curve without any banking, the maximum permissible speed is given by V maximum is equal to root of mu into R into G. Curve without any banking, okay, bankless curve. So in such a case, here mu is coefficient of friction 0.4. What is the radius given? Radius is 30 meter and 9.8. Okay, you please simplify this. On simplification, you are going to get 10.8, 10.84 meter per second. So therefore, maximum permissible speed of a car on a flat curve is given by 10.84 meter per second. See, here the friction between the wheel and the road gives necessary centripetal force for the car to take a turn. When it exceeds this particular speed, there is a possibility of the car undergoing a skid. It may upside down. So when it exceeds the speed. Okay. A bucket tied at the end of a 1.6 meter long string is whirled in a vertical circle with a constant speed. What should be the minimum speed so that water from the bucket does not spill when the bucket is at highest position? See, here you have taken a bucket and this bucket is filled with water and a string is tied to it. It is whirled. Say it's a whirled so that it moves in a circular path. At the maximum position, bucket is here, bucket in this position, bucket is in this position. For water does not spill out only when mv square by r centrifugal reaction becomes equal to weight mg. If this is the case, then water never spilled downwards. See, therefore, mv square by r must be equal to mg. Rv must be equal to root of r into g. And they have given the radius 1.6, length of the string equal to the radius of the circular path. G is 10 into 10 gives you 4 meter per second. See, therefore, the minimum speed that should be imparted to the string so that even the bucket reaches the highest position water is not spilled downwards only when the speed is 4 meter per second. So this is the general formula. Knowing this, you can directly calculate that. An aeroplane is flying horizontally with a velocity 600 km per hour at a height of 1960 meter. What is the when it is vertical at a point A on the ground, a bomb is released from it. The bomb strikes the ground at a point B. The distance AB is. See here, the aeroplane is somewhere here. Aeroplane is somewhere here. It releases the bomb follows this trajectory and falls somewhere here. Let me take this X. Say bomb is moving in this direction. This is the bomb released. They ask you to calculate this distance X. See, X is nothing but X is equal to velocity into time. Velocity into time. See here, V time is given by, you know that h is equal to half gt square. See, therefore t is equal to root of 2h by g. 2h by g. You please substitute here. What is velocity? They have given velocity as 600 km per hour. 600 km per hour. 3600 into 2. H is 1960. 1960 and G is 9.8. 9.8. So you please simplify this. On simplification, you are going to get 3.33 kilometer. 0.33 kilometer. ನೋಡಿ ಬಾಂಬ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಬಿದ್ದದ್ದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬೀಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏರೋಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸಿ ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟೈಲ್. This is the case of horizontal projectile. It will acquire the velocity of the aeroplane. See, therefore, it follows a parabolic path and falls on the ground. And it falls at a distance 3.33 kilometer from a point where it was released, right? Vertically above that point. The angle of projection at which horizontal range and maximum height of the projectile are equal is. See, this is the case of oblique projectile. Oblique projectile. So I mean to say when the projectile is, when the object is projected at some angle theta, it follows a parabolic path. See, you know that what is the data given? R is equal to H. What is R? U square sine 2 theta divided by G is equal to U square sine square theta divided by 2G. This is what 2 into sine theta into cos theta is equal to sine square theta divided by 2. See, therefore tan theta is equal to 4. This implies theta is equal to tan inverse 4. See, therefore angle of projection becomes tan inverse of 4, or it is 76 degree. Right? Range is given by u square sine 2 theta by g. Right? G got cancelled, u square got cancelled. Remaining things I am written here. Sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta into cos theta. Again sine theta got cancelled, 1 sine theta got cancelled. See, when you take cos here, sine by cos tan 2, when it comes here 4, tan theta is equal to 4, or theta is equal to tan inverse 4. The height y and distance x along the horizontal plane of a projectile on a certain planet are given by y is equal to 8t minus 5t square and x equals to 6t meter, where t is in second. The velocity with which projectile is projected is. Okay. See here they have given two equations. They have given two equations. Y is equal to, first let us take x is equal to 60. See, therefore what is the vertical component of velocity? Vx is equal to dx by dt is equal to 6. Let me call it as equation 1. And y is equal to 8t minus 5t square. 8t minus 5t square. See, therefore Vy is equal to dy by dt is equal to 8 minus 10t. At t is equal to 0, Vy becomes equal to 8. See, therefore what is velocity? Velocity is root of v square x plus v square y. 6 square plus 8 square, that gives you 10 meter per second. See, therefore initial velocity means at time t is equal to 0. You may ask the question, sir, why you have taken t is equal to 0? ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂದಾಗ ನೀವು ಎಸೆಯುವಾಗ ಟೈಮ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, 0 ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟಿಗೆ 0 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಆಗ ಯು ವಿ ವೈ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಯು ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಾನೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಯು ಎಕ್ಸ್, ಸೇ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಯು ವೈ. ಓಕೆ, ಯು ವೈ, ಯು ಎಕ್ಸ್, ಯು ವೈ. ಓಕೆ, see that gives you 10 meter per second. A bird weighs 2 kg and is inside the closed cage 1 kg. It starts flying. Then what is the weight of the bird and cage assembly? ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಡ್ ಹಾರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕೇಜ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಬರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಪಂಜರದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹಕ್ಕಿ ಇದೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಈಗ ಅದರದ್ದು ಒಟ್ಟು ತೂಕ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? ಬರ್ಡ್ 1 kg ಇದೆ, ಬರ್ಡ್ 2 kg ಇದೆ, ಕೇಜ್ 1 kg ಇದೆ, ಒಟ್ಟು 3 kg ಆಯಿತು. ಬರ್ಡು ಕೇಜ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹಾರುವಾಗ ಅದು ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾರಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ತನ್ನ ತೂಕದಷ್ಟೇ ಏರನ್ನೇ ಕೆಳಗೆ ತಳ್ಳಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಕೆಳಗೆ ತಳ್ಳಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಹಾರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಹಾಗೆ ಕೆಳಗೆ ತಳ್ಳಿದಾಗ ಟೋಟಲ್ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 3 kg ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗೋಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಬರ್ಡು ಗಾಳಿ ಪಂಜರದ ಒಳಗಡೆನೇ ಹಾರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಸಹ ಅದ ಟೋಟಲ್ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ? 3 kg ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಹಾರುವಾಗ ಏರ್ನ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ತಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, ಏರ್ನ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ತನ್ನ ತೂಕದಷ್ಟೇ ಏರ್ನ ಕೆಳಗೆ ತಳ್ಳಬೇಕು ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಅದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 3 kg ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್. A machine gun is mounted on 2000 kg car on a horizontal frictionless surface. At some instant, the gun fires the bullets of mass 10 gram with a velocity 500 meter per second with respect to the car. The number of bullets fired per second is 10. Then average thrust on the system is. Say here thrust is equal to u into dm by dt or v into dm by dt. Here v is how much? V is the velocity of the bullet, 500 meter per second, and dm by dt is the number of bullet given out by it per second. Each bullet has a mass 10 gram and it is moving with the velocity is given. 10 bullets are coming out, 10 gram per second, right? Okay. So you please substitute the value So you are going to get dm by dt is 500. This is 10 gram, 10 into 10 raised to minus 3 kg per second. You please substitute that. See, therefore thrust becomes equal to 500 into 10 into 10 raised to minus 3. This gives you 5 Newton. See, therefore thrust acting on the system is 5 Newton. Sorry, 50 Newton barata illa. Oh, there are 10 bullets are coming out, right? 10 into this much. See, therefore 100. See, that gives you 50 Newton. ನೋಡಿ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಮೆಷಿನ್ ಗನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಮೌಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕಾರ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, 2 ಟನ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಂದರೆ 2000 kg ಇದೆ ಕಾರು. ಅದು ಒಂದು ಫ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಲೆಸ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಂತಿದೆ. ಕಾರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಮೆಷಿನ್ ಗನ್ನ ಮೌಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ಬುಲೆಟ್ನ ಫೈರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ಬುಲೆಟು ಅದ್ರ ಮಾಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, 10 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದು 500 ಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ನಿಂದ ಆಚೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ಗೆ 10 ಬುಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಥ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾನೇನು ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಥ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ವಿ ಇಂಟು ಡಿ ಎಮ್ ಬೈ ಡಿ ಟಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿ ಎಮ್ ಬೈ ಡಿ ಟಿ ಅಂದರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್, ಈಗ ಮಾಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಟೈಮ್. ಬುಲೆಟ್ ಈಚೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಡಿ ಎಮ್ ಬೈ ಡಿ ಟಿ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬುಲೆಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, 10 ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ 10 ಇಂಟು 10 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಬುಲೆಟ್ ಪರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್. ಅದರಿಂದ 10 ಇಂಟು 10 ಇದು 10 raised to minus 3 ಯಾಕೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಕೆ ಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. When you simplify that, you are going to get 15. Therefore 15 Newton of thrust acting on the entire system. A rocket of mass 1000 kg fuel is consumed. In a rocket of mass 1000 kg fuel is consumed at the rate of 40 kg per second. The velocity of the gas ejected from the rocket is 5 into 10 raised to 4 meter per second. Thrust on the rocket is, ನೋಡಿ ರಾಕೆಟು ಆಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಝೀರೋ ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಏನು ತಗೋತೀರಿ, ಎಫ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಡಿ ಬೈ ಡಿ ಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಪಿ ಅಂತ ತರ್ತೀವಿ, ಡಿ ಪಿ ಬೈ ಡಿ ಟಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಿ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ, ಡಿ ಬೈ ಡಿ ಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಇಂಟು ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ. ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಎಮ್ ಇಂಟು ಡಿ ವಿ ಬೈ ಡಿ ಟಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ವಿ ಇಂಟು ಡಿ ಎಮ್ ಬೈ ಡಿ ಟಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ರೂಲ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಹಾರುವಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, 0 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಮೋಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ರಾಕೆಟ್ external force acting on the rocket is 0. So therefore m into dv by dt 0 is equal to v into dm by dt. See therefore idi kade tagolli, m into dv by dt minus v into dm by dt. This is nothing but thrust. ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸೈನ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಏನು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ ಇಜೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್, ಇದು ವಿ ಇಸ್ ದ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಜೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ರಾಕೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಫ್ಯೂಯಲ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಅದು ಮಾಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಅದನ್ನ ಇದು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಎರಡು ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಝೀರೋ ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಇರಲಿ, ಈಗ ಥ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸಿ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ speed 5 into 10 raised to 4 and mass consumption ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, 40 kg per second. See therefore you are going to get 2 into 10 raised to 6 Newton. This is the thrust. ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸೈನ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸೈನ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಥ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಥ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಮೇಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಥ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಅದನ್ನ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸೈನ್ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Thrust always acts in a direction just opposite to the direction of movement of exhaust gases. Okay, well, now we shall move on to next question. A boy whose mass is 50 kg stands on a spring balance inside a lift. If the lift starts ascent with an acceleration 2 meter per second square, reading of the machine or balance is. See, when it starts moves upwards, the reaction of the floor is m into g plus a, m into g plus a. ಮಾಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ 50 kg ಇದೆ g 10 ಇದೆಯಾ 2 see therefore this is 600 ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸಿ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ 600 ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವನದು ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ 60 kg ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ರಿಟನ್ ಆಸ್ 60 into 10 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಸಿ therefore ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅವನು 50 kg ಇರೋ ಒಂದು ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ನ 60 kg ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದೇ ಕೆಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು 50 kg ಇದ್ದು 40 kg ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಹಾಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಎ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಜಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಎ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಪರೆಂಟ್ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಅಪರೆಂಟ್ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೌದಾ A horse pulls a wagon. The force that causes the horse to move. ನೋಡಿ ಒಂದು ಕುದುರೆ ಗಾಡಿಗೆ ಕುದುರೆ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಕುದುರೆ ಗಾಡಿನ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಳಿಬೇಕು ಕುದುರೆ ಗಾಡಿನ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಳಿಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕುದುರೆ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಳೆದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ದ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಕುದುರೆಗೆ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವುದು ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕುದುರೆ ಗಾಡಿನ ಎಳೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ in order to horse to move forward the force exerted by the ground exerts the force ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ a player next problem a player caught previous problem ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇನೆ ನಾನು previous when a horse pulls a wagon the force that causes the horse to move forward is ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಕುದುರೆ ಗಾಡಿನ ಎಳಿತಾ ಇದೆ ಕುದುರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಒಂದು ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಇಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಯಾವ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ನಡಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ನಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಹೌದಾ ಹಾಗೆ ಕುದುರೆ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is the ground which gives the reactional force a player caught a cricket ball of mass 150 gram moving at the rate of 20 meter per second if the catching process is completed in 0.1 second then the force of the blow exerted by the ball on the hands of the player is ಈಗ ಒಬ್ಬ ಫೀಲ್ಡರು ಬಾಲ್ನ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಆಗ ಫೈನಲ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ 0 ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ 20 ಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅವ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಚ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಮೇಲೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ 0 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಹಂಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸಿ ಯು ನೋ ದಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಲಾ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ F is equal to mv minus mu divided by t or we can write m into v minus u. See, mass is how much? Mass is 150 gram, 150 into 10 raised to minus 3, final velocity 0, initial velocity 20 meter per second, time taken is 0.1 second. Okay, so you please simplify this. This comes out to be 200, 150 into 200 into 10 raised to minus 3. Therefore, this is 30 Newton. See, it transfers 30 Newton or it exerts 30 Newton of force on the hands of the player. A body of mass 0.25 kg is projected with a muscle velocity 100 meter per second from a tank of mass 100 kg. Recoil velocities ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಈ ಆರ್ಮಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕರ್, ಅದರಿಂದ ಆರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಮ್ಯುನಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಶೆಲ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಸಿಡಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ನೀವು ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರ. ಆ ಶೆಲ್ನ ಸಿಡಿಸಿದಾಗ ಶೆಲ್ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗೇನೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಜರ್ಕ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹಿಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ರೀಕಾಯಿಲ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ? ವಿ ಶಾಲ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೀನಿಯರ್ ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್. So when you make use of law of conservation of linear momentum, we can write m into m1 into u1 is equal to minus of see this is m2 into u2. ಯಾಕೆ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಮಾಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 0.25. ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದರದ್ದು? 100 ಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್. ಆಚೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದರ ಮಾಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು? 100 u2. So therefore u2 is equal to minus 0.25 meter per second. So this is the recoil velocity. Three blocks A, B and C weighing 1, 8 and 20 kg, 27 kg respectively are connected as shown in the figure with an inextensible string and are moving on a smooth surface. Here T3 is equal to 36 Newton, then T2 is. See, in the diagram they have given, say, three blocks. They are connected by string. They are interconnected by string. See, they are of different mass and interconnected by string. Okay, this is T1, T2, T3, A, B, C. See, their masses are given, right? This is 1 kg, M1 1 kg, M2 is 8 kg and M3 is 27 kg. They also given T3 is equal to 36 Newton. And they ask you to find out what is T2. See, T2 is given by T2 is equal to MA plus MB divided by MA plus MB plus MC multiplied by T3. See, this is the relation. MA plus MB is 1 plus 8 divided by 1 plus 8 plus 27 multiplied by 36. See, this gives you 9 Newton. See, therefore T2 is given by T2 is 9 Newton. Tension on the second string is 9 Newton. See, now let us move on to the next problem. A horizontal force of 10 Newton is necessary to just hold a block stationary against the wall. The coefficient of friction between the block and the wall is 0.2. Weight of the block is, see, in this case we have a block. This is the wall. You are applying a force here. How much? 10 Newton. See, this is the force applied. They ask you to find out what is the weight of the block. All right. See here, you know that weight is equal to mu into normal reaction. Normal reaction is mg, right? See, that is nothing but how much? 10 Newton. Mu is 0.4. They have given coefficient of friction is 0.2. Normal force acting here is 10. See, therefore this is equal to 2. See, therefore what is the value? What is the weight of the body? 2 Newton. 2 Newton, or it is 2 kg weight. See, it is in terms of Newton only they have asked you to calculate. See, therefore it's equal to 2 Newton. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಮ್ಯೂ ಇಂಟು ಎಮ್ ಜಿ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಮ್ಯೂ ಇಂಟು ಎಮ್ ಜಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಎಮ್ ಜಿ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎಮ್ ಜಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೀಗೆ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎನ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎಮ್ ಜಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ, ಈಗ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಿಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌದಾ. ಮೂವ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಇದು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು. ಸೊ therefore it is equal to 2 Newton. We shall move on to next one. A body moves a distance 10 meters along a straight line under the action of a force 5 Newton. If the work done is 25 joules, the angle which the force makes with the direction of motion of the body is, right. See here they have asked you to calculate angle. Okay, they have given the force. So you know that F is equal to W is equal to Fs cos theta, and W work done is 25 joule they have given, and force acting here is 5 Newton. This is 10 cos theta, therefore cos theta is equal to 1/2. This implies theta is equal to 60 degree. So therefore it makes an angle 60 degree. A particle moves from a position r1 is equal to 3 into I cap plus 2 into j cap minus 6 into k cap to r2 is equal to 4 into I cap plus 13 into j cap plus 9 into k cap, and the action of the force 4 into I cap plus j cap plus 3 into k cap. Work done will be, see here you have to find out what is the work done. See that displacement is dr is equal to r2 minus r1, r2 minus r1. So this is 14 minus 3 into I cap plus 13 minus 2 into j cap plus 9 minus 6, 9 minus of minus 6, 9 minus of minus 6 into j cap. See this is 11 into I cap plus 11 into j cap plus 15 into k cap. Sorry, this is k. 15 into k cap. So you are going to get 15 into k cap. Okay. See this is dr, displacement. The work done is F dot dr. Force is how much? 4 into I cap plus j cap plus 3 cap, 3 into k cap. This is dot 11 into I cap, 11 into j cap plus 15 into k cap. Please take the dot product. 4 into 11, 4 into 11 plus 1 into 11 plus 3 into 15, 44 plus 11 plus 45. So you are going to get, you please simplify this. On simplification, so you are going to get 100 joule. 100 joule. A spring of force constant 800 Newton per meter has an extension of 5 centimeter. Work done in extending it from 5 centimeter to 15 centimeter. See, we have a spring. So you know that work done is nothing but energy stored. Energy stored is given by half kx square. Here x2 square minus x1 square, half into spring constant k, how much? 800. 800 x2 15 square, 15 square minus 5 square, meter convert ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 10 raised to minus 4 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Simplify ಮಾಡಿ 400. This is 225 minus 25 into 10 raised to minus 4. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? 200 ಬರುತ್ತಾ? 200 ಅಂದರೆ 8 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. See, therefore this is equal to 8 joule. You are going to get 8 joule. A rifle bullet loses 1/20th of its velocity in passing through a plank. Least number of such planks required just to stop the bullet is. ನೋಡಿ, ಒಂದು ವುಡನ್ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಬುಲೆಟ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆದಾಗ ಅದರದ್ದು ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಮೊದಲಿಗಿಂತ 1/20th ಅಷ್ಟು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಬುಲೆಟ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಥರ ಎಷ್ಟು ವುಡನ್ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಬಳಸಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಯಿತಾ? ಈಗ ಫಸ್ಟು ಅದರದ್ದು ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬುಲೆಟ್, velocity of the bullet after passing through a plank, after passing through a plank is v is equal to ಎಷ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ? u minus u by 20, 19u by 20. ಇದು ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ. ಯು ಅಂದರೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ. ಈಗ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಯಿತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ವಿ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಯು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 2as. ಆಯಿತಾ? ವಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 19u by 20 ಹೋಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಯು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 2 ಇಂಟು ಎ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೈನಸ್ ಎ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ರಿಟಾರ್ಡೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಂಟು ಎಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಯು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಬೈ 2as is equal to 400 by 39. 400 by 39. See, let n number of planks required to stop the bullet. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ v dash square is equal to u square plus 2as. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ns ಅಂತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, n into s. v dash ಫೈನಲ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ 0, ಬುಲೆಟ್ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ u ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 2 ಇಂಟು ಮೈನಸ್ ಎ this one minus a, n is not known into s. See, therefore, n becomes equal to u square by 2as, 400 by 39. Say this is approximately 11. 10 point something barutte. You please take it as 11. 11 ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ 10 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ 10 ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಿಂದ 11 ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ಬೋದು If kinetic energy of a body increases by 0.1%, the percentage increasing in momentum is, see we know that momentum is related to kinetic energy by 2 mk. See therefore delta p by p into 100% is equal to half into delta k by k into 100%. ಹಾಫ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಬಂತು ರೂಟ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಲ್ಲ ಹೀಗೆ ಪಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್ ಟು ರೂಟ್ ಕೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಹಂಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಹಾಫ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೈನೆಟಿಕ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಹಾಫ್ ಇಂಟು 0.1% ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ 0.05%. Therefore percentage increasing in the momentum is 0.05%. Next one, the power of a pump which can pump 200 kg of water to a height of 200 meter in 10 seconds is, see we know that power is equal to W by T, work done is nothing but potential energy mgh by T, mass is 200, G they have given 10, height is also 200, see divided by time is 10 seconds, 10 seconds, therefore this is 40 into 10 raised to 3 watt or 40 kilowatt. See power comes out to be 40 kilowatt. A truck of mass 30,000 kg moves up an inclined plane of slope 1 in 100 at a speed of 30 km per hour. Power of the truck is, see here, see this is the inclined plane, they have given this is 1 meter, see this is 100, see here is the truck, okay, truck is having a mass mg, see this is resolved into two components, the theta mg cos theta, here mg sin theta. See therefore force acting exactly equal to mg sin theta, therefore F is equal to mg sin theta, mg sin theta. See we know that power is equal to F into V, F into V, force into velocity, mg sin theta into V. Now substitute, what is m? M is 30,000 kg, 3 into 10 raised to 4 kg. G is, they have given G is 10, sin theta opposite side by hypotenuse 1 by 100, velocity 30 kilometer per hour, 30 kilometer per hour, 30 kilometer per hour. So you please simplify all this. See on simplification, say you are going to get, you simplify everything, on simplification you are going to get 25 kilowatt, 25 into 10 raised to 3 watt. See 25 kilowatt is the correct answer. A ball of mass 10 kg moving with a velocity 10 meter per second strikes another ball of mass 5 kg which is moving in the same direction with a velocity 4 meter per second. The collision is elastic. Their velocity after collision is, this is the case of elastic collision. Elastic collision. So you know that, see, there are two bodies moving along the same direction. First one is 10 kg, M1 10 kg, and it is moving with a velocity 10 meter per second. And we have another body which is of mass 5 kg moving with a velocity 4 meter per second, u2 4 meter per second. See, therefore, velocity after collision is given by v1 is equal to m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 by m1 plus m2 into u2. m1 minus m2 is 10 minus 5 by 10 plus 5. u1 is 10 plus 2m2, 2 into 5 divided by 2m2 divided by 10 plus 5. This is multiplied by 5. See what you are going to get. This is 5 by 15, 50. So you are going to get in the first case 6. Second one is 4. Alva 4 is 6 meter per second. 6 meter per second. And what is V2? V2 is given by 2m1 by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus m2 minus m1 by m1 plus m2 into u2. See, this gives you 2 into m1 is 10 divided by 15. This is multiplied by 10 plus m2 is 5 minus 10 by 15. This is multiplied by 4. So you are going to get 12 meter per second. See, therefore, what is the answer? 6 meter per second and 12 meter per second is the answer. Last option is correct. A body of mass 2 kg moving with a velocity 3 meter per second collides head-on with a body of mass 1 kg moving in opposite direction with a velocity 4 meter per second. After collision, the two bodies stick together and move with a common velocity which is in meter per second is. This is the case of inelastic collision, perfectly inelastic collision. Collision ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಎರಡು ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದೇ ಕಾಮನ್ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. They ask you to find out what is the common velocity. You know, common velocity is given by common velocity is given by v is equal to m1 u1 minus m2 u2 divided by m1 plus m2. See, they have given 2 kg moving with a 3 meter per second minus 1 kg moving with 4 meter per second divided by 2 plus 1. See, this is 6 minus 4 divided by 3, 2 by 3 meter per second, 2 by 3 meter per second. I hope you have understood this. Common velocity. See, this is the case of perfectly inelastic collision. Common velocity is given by m1 u1 minus m2 u2. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸೈನ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ? ಎರಡು ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅದರಿಂದ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್. ಒಂದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So therefore substitute ಮಾಡಿ, you are going to get this. This is a perfectly inelastic collision. Now let's move on to last question. Two masses of 5 kg and 10 kg connected by a pulley as shown. Then what is the acceleration of the system? ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು? ಅಟ್ವುಡ್ಸ್ ಮೆಷಿನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಟ್ವುಡ್ಸ್ ಮೆಷಿನ್. ಅಟ್ವುಡ್ಸ್ ಮೆಷಿನ್. ಅಟ್ವುಡ್ಸ್ ಮೆಷಿನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ a pulley, a frictionless pulley. On a pulley, two loads are attached. M1, M2. See, if this is the case, then acceleration is given by A is equal to M2 minus M1 by M2 plus M1 into G. See, this is the relation you have to follow. See, this is 10 minus 5 divided by 10 plus 5 into G. See, you are going to get G by 3. So therefore, acceleration of the system is given by G by 3. Okay. See, this completes the discussion on some of the questions related to physics. I hope you have done well. So let me conclude the class. Thank you very much.